Was it love at first sight?
Oh, absolutely, and I never believed in it. And it was amazing because at that time Steve had been out bush catching crocs and relocating them as part of the East Coast Crocodile Management Program. So he hadn't had a girlfriend in a couple of years. And I'd given up on all that, so I hadn't been dating for a couple of years myself. And I met him, and I just thought he was the most amazing person I had ever seen in my entire life. And when I left that little zoo that day, I felt so incredibly lonely. And I missed him desperately, and I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble. And it sounds like some romance novel, but the moment we met, we knew. I have a photograph of the very instant we met, and it's a pretty lucky thing. Not everybody can lay claim to that, but I do have the photo from the time we met, and we fell desperately in love that day and never looked back.
That is the picture.
Yeah,
there
that's the one.
And you were inseparable, really, from then on, and got married, and then the honeymoon. You could have a honeymoon, he said, or I've had a phone call about a big crocodile we've got to go and find.
Yes,
Which you want, honeymoon crocodile. There was no competition, really, was there?
Well, no, and it was so exciting, too, because it ended up being our very first documentary. So off we went to try filming and catching this croc, and I went straight from Oregon into the tropics of Queensland with mangrove mud up to my knees and mosquitoes that could bite you through your lawn chair and the incredible heat, and yet I enjoyed the magic of all the wildlife, and some incredible things happened. I can remember one time I took my dunny roll and went off to find a secretive bush, and as I was preparing for this event, here came this huge snake. So I jumped a mile and, waving my dunny roll behind, came running out from the bushes, and Steve tailed this red-bellied black snake and saved my life. And you know, it's very romantic living with someone who saves your life from time to time.
Well, of course. But what was it with crocs? I mean, how do you catch a croc?
Well, it was interesting. We missed the big male crocodile. It was shot by a poacher, which was very sad. But we caught his female, and Steve uses a big mesh trap, and when you catch the croc in that, it's like a big sock that just holds onto it. So we arrived, and I thought, great, I'm going to see this man work his magic. I can't wait. And we arrived, and Steve said, right, you jump her head, and I'll get the net off. And I went, what? I'm sorry, I thought you just said jump her head. And so next thing I know, I'm landing on top of this crocodile who's almost 10 feet long with my arms wrapped around her jaws. And crocodiles build up like a horse that's about to buck. You can feel them building up. Then they explode and fight furiously, and then they settle down again. So it was hanging on through every one of these battles while Steve's meticulously rolling the net off and getting it up towards her head. I sweat all of my mosquito repellent off. I didn't notice anything. It was the most amazing experience of my life, and I felt like I was hanging on to a dinosaur. Beyond description. And yet, like you said, with his love for these animals, it's so infectious. I felt the strength of the crocodile. I could feel its breath in my face, and I thought, what an amazing thing.
He knew, though, how dangerous his life was, and you do say that he really didn't expect to become an old man.
No, he didn't. He had this real sense of his own mortality. He wasn't ever melodramatic about it, but he was very determined to accomplish as much as he could in his lifetime. His mother died in an automobile accident when she was very young, in her 50s, and he had this sense that he might also die young.
And so you said when you first met him, and when that first day, and you walked out of the room and you missed him. I mean, there was this huge gap. My God, what does that feel like now, knowing that he has gone?
You know, it's unbelievable, and part of me keeps thinking I'm going to wake up and go, that was the weirdest dream I ever had. You know, I just keep thinking he's going to walk in the door, and it's still so soon that it's a bit unreal. But I think because I'm a very spiritual person, I feel that in some way he's still around. And I believe one day we'll be together again. And that really helps to keep me going. I've got 2 beautiful children, and I've got his legacy, which is so important to continue. So I'm very determined to keep going. And I remember in June, I was fortunate enough to have the Dalai Lama come and address the crowd at the zoo. And when he came to Australia Zoo, I spoke to him privately, and he said, you know, the things that happen to you in life are going to happen, and you cannot change them. The only thing you can change is how you react to them. So I choose every day to do as much positive good work as I can, instead of just curling up with grief.
So you didn't want to maintain it, you didn't want to maintain his work, you wanted to further it and continue it. And
Very
you're
much
doing
so.
that through your children. I love the fact that you say that of your children. He decided, you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have children because
Yes.
they'll continue it. I mean, I can imagine the conversation. Crikey, let's
Yes.
have kids.
Yes, and he was like that. When I said, great, come on. Let's give it a go right now. But Steve was like that once he'd made up his mind about something. And it just suddenly dawned on him that, you know, his parents handed the zoo down to him. My parents handed the family business down to me. And he thought, this is the way to go. And of course, I was very logical and practical with him and said, there's no guaranteeing that children are going to carry on in your footsteps, you know. They're their own people.
But
And
Bindi is, isn't she?
But Bindi is just a little daddy clone. She is so much like Steve. She's a tough little tomboy girl with a sensitive sweetheart.
Is she 8, 9
And
now?
she's 9 years old
Yes.
now, and she's been filming with us since she hatched. I mean, her birth was filmed as part of a documentary, so I have no dignity left. But yes, we've filmed the birth of both children, and our lives have been recorded so wonderfully that we have these precious memories that we can hold on to.
Well, you've put so many precious memories in this book called Steve and Me by Terri Irwin, and it's available now. And we do send our love to the children.
Thank you.
And to you, and thank you, Terri.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much indeed.
God bless.
Happy Christmas.
Thank you, May.
Well, we're going to take a quick break now, but first, a little reminder that our competitions lines close at 12:15, so don't call after that, or you may be charged. But we are back straight after this with X Factor's Beverly, revealing all about Saturday night's big eviction. Back after this.